We are going to read Three Little Fish and the Big Bad Shark. How would you feel if you were a little fish and you were being chased by a big bad shark?
The Three Little Fish and the Big Bad Shark by Ken Geist and Julia Gorton. Once upon a time there lived a mama fish and her three little fish, Jim, Tim, and Kim. "It is now time," said their mama, "for each of you to make a home in the deep blue sea." So off they went. The first little fish, named Jim, swam away and met a seahorse playing in some weed. "Can I have some of the seaweed so I can build the house?" "Take as much as you can carry," said the seahorse. Jim gathered the seaweed and made a weedy little house. Jim had just finished building his seaweed house when he heard the big bad shark knocking at the door. Little fish, let me come in." The little fish trembled and replied, "Not by the skin of my finny fin fin." "Then I'll munch and I'll crunch and I'll smash your house in," roared the shark. So the big bad shark munched and he crunched and he ate up every bit of the seaweed house. And Jim swam away just in time. Soon Jim found his brother Tim. Said, "Don't worry, Jim. We fish stick together. You can help me build a sandy little house." Jim and Tim had just started to relax in the sandy little house when the big bad shark came knocking at the door. Little fish, let me come in." To which the brave little fish replied, "Not by the skin of my finny fin fin." "Then I'll munch and I'll crunch and I'll smash your house in," roared the shark. So the big bad shark munched and he crunched until he got a sandy mouthful, and the house crumbled. Jim and Tim swam and swam until they reached their sister Kim. Kim was setting up her house in an old wooden ship. "The big bad shark destroyed our houses." "Don't worry, you can live with me," said Kim. And they did. The three little fish had just finished lunch when they heard the big bad shark knocking at the door. Little fish, let me come in." To which the smart fish replied, "Not by the skin of my finny fin fin." "Then I'll crunch and I'll munch and I'll smash your house in," roared the shark. The big bad shark munched and he crunched, but he could not smash the house in, and all his teeth fell out. The three little fish were safe at last. The end.
We will continue to work on our last page of our ocean book. Yesterday we worked on one of the pages of our book. Go to the next page. Sometimes it's easier to write a story after drawing a picture. I'm going to draw a sea lion. This is his head and his body. And I'm going to draw his fin and another fin and his tail and his snout, his eyes, and his whiskers. And I'm going to color him a shade of gray. I'm coloring the sand on the beach. And the ocean water. Now I'm going to write the sentence, "I see a sea lion." I'm going to begin my sentence with a capital letter. I see a sea lion. If you get to the end of your line and you have more to write, you should return to the beginning of the next line. What do I need to put at the end of my sentence? Yes, I will write a period. You always write a period at the end of a sentence. Remember to always leave spaces in between your words. The space goes after every word and before you begin writing the next word. And it's an area where there are no letters. That's what a space is. Let's count how many words we have in this sentence. Help me to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 words in this sentence. And finally, we are going to label our picture. Let's write sea lion again. Sea. What sound do you hear at the beginning of the word sea? S. That's right. And what letter makes that sound? The S makes that sound. So I'm going to write an S. See? And what do you hear at the beginning of the word lion? Lion. You hear the sound ooh, and the L makes that sound. Lion. What do you hear at the end of the word? That's right. The N makes that sound. Let's count how many letters we have in these words, in the word see. How many letters are in the word see? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 letters in the word see. How many letters are in the word lion? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 letters in the word lion. Sea lion is 2 words, and we know that because we left a space in between the 2 words, right? You can write and draw about any ocean animal in your book. Have fun! I have many ocean animals like the ones we saw in our read-alouds this week. How many types of animals do you think I have? I wonder how many of each kind I have. Do you think I have more lobsters or more starfish? Talk to Mom and Dad and make your predictions. What do you think? How can we find out? In order to answer these questions, we need to organize our animals first. We can begin by sorting the animals and putting similar animals together. We can put all the starfish over here, all the fish over here, the crabs, the dolphins can go in this section, in this group, and the lobsters over here. We sorted our animals. Now we can make a graph and we can place the animals on the graph. We will place our numbers on the graph, and that will help us to know how many of each animal we have. What kind of or what kind of animals or what categories of animals do we have? I'm going to write the categories down on these papers. I'm going to write crab, and lobster, and starfish, and dolphin, and fish. I'm going to place the cards of the categories of animals that we have here. Dolphin and crab and lobster and fish and starfish. Now let's place our animals on the correct columns on the graph. It says dolphin here, so I'm going to place my dolphins in this column. It says crab, so I'm going to place my crab here. It says lobster, so we're going to place the lobsters in this column. It says fish, so we will place our fish in this column. And it says starfish, so we will place our starfish here. Now that we have our information organized, we can answer the questions. We can count the animals and find out how many of each we have. Let's find out, how many dolphins do we have? Help me to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 dolphins. How many crabs do we have? Help me to count. 1. How many lobsters do we have? Help me to count. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 lobsters. How many fish do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 fish. How many starfish do we have? 1, 2. We have 2 starfish. Which category do I have the most of? Which one do we have more of? That's right, it's the fish. We have 5 fish. Are there more crabs or more starfish? We have 1 crab and we have 2 starfish. So we have more starfish. We used a graph to show our data in an organized way. Ask Mom and Dad to help you choose toys to make your own graph at home. Today we organized by the type of ocean animal, but you can organize by color, by size, or by shape. Have fun! Bye, boys and girls. Have a fun day of learning.